EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. Were they as the Packers get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Here's the former Cornhusker Brett Maher to get this one started. And off we go from Lambeau. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go. No, 258. Watching your back. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rodgers now on first down. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Throwing again on second down. Rodgers got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Brent, I think we can see early on they're making a concerted effort to get him the football. So to me, that means they like the matchup that they have. They feel like he's better than the guys that are covering him.
2 plays, 2 passes. We'll see if they go back to that well. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Coming to you.
Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. The tackle by Robert Quinn.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. Rodgers now on first down. And Graham's got it. Complete. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Rodgers going to throw. The connection made. It's Graham. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. An 11-yard touchdown. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Partner, I think we can all agree that that was a pretty darn good opening drive right there. And the key to it all, going for it on 4th down earlier in the drive. Set a tone for it. And the best part, they made it pay off.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Prescott from the gun. Flush to his right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Escaping the pressure right. Lets it fly deep into a double team, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Now Austin. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense, they've got it set up on the silver platter. 1st and goal inside the 10. A very short field to work with now. 1st and goal after the great punt return. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. 1 man in the backfield. That's Elliott on 2nd and goal. Now Prescott. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Zadarius Smith. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. So backed up to the 6 now. 3rd and goal. Here's Elliott. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be. Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Montravius Adams, and the Packers D comes up with a big stop. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Rodgers. He gets this to Davante Adams. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. They'll run it with Jones. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Prescott looks to throw on first. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And the Packers pick it up. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
He
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
We'll see what his offense can do. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. CD, we're already firmly in the month of November, so I want to go ahead and take a look at the AFC playoff picture. Right now, division leaders, New England, Baltimore, Houston, and KC. If it ended today, the wild cards would go to Buffalo and Indianapolis. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. They're going to try the jet sweep on 3rd and long. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, what's the plan of attack here? Very late second quarter, and look where the ball is.
Yeah, a bad spot for you, but the defense has all 3 timeouts. So what you're telling your team is ball security #1. It's not all on the running backs if you decide to run the football. That offensive line has got to protect them and wedge out some space, because you can't just kneel. They take 3 timeouts. They're going to get the ball back in good field position with a chance to put points on the board. You got to try and get a first down and run out this first half.
Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
First down, Dallas.
On 1st and 10, Prescott being chased, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll keep it on the ground again here. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here at half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards. Excellent execution, and now there's... And he'll get in! Touchdown, Cowboys! A 5-yard touchdown run, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Packers take over 1st and 10.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Collins able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now here's a screen play left side. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
He'll get this off to Jamal Williams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a 1st down. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 36. This is Jones. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Here's Rodgers. Buying time to his left. The Packers unable to pick up the 1st. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. And you wonder, Charles, could that decision come back to haunt them later?
And it really could, because in this situation, you kick the field goal in a tight game like this, that's a good play.
Yeah.
But maybe what he's saying to himself is, I'm just not a big proponent of the old idea that any possession that ends in a kick I'm happy with. He wanted to be really aggressive.
A little twist here in the 3rd quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys. Here's Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Give the sack to Blake Martinez. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Complete to Jason Witten. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 34-yard line. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. To throw again on second down. Prescott. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a second down, but they are in field goal range. Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Cowboys have taken the lead.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave a great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out. And
a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there. Now a desperation, and that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 75 yards, as his guys are back within a single score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this. I know you are, too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Crosby with the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Again, it's Elliott. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Blitz to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he fields it cleanly. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And that's complete to Adams. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Back to throw. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. A gain of 6 there on first.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. It may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
He's going to take off with it, taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. His throw caught at about the 5. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with some. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Here's the former Cornhusker Brett Maher to get this one started. And off we go from Cleveland. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Check. 180! Mike 54! No gain on this defense, no gain.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They run again on first down, Chubb. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Bring it! Bring it!
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
It's caught by OBJ. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down.
Here we go. Here we go. Run, run, run.
Working out of the gun. Mayfield. He finds his target. Beckham. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 32-yard line. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Set. 180. Mike 54. You better bring it. You better.
Mayfield with a quick fire to Landry. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Something we're seeing more of with the rise of the run-pass option. A legal man downfield, and that's going to back him up.
180. 54 Mike. Check right, check right.
Following the penalty, Chubb. Give him a couple on the run there. It'll be 2nd and 13.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 13 at at the 24-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. We're scoreless after one. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming.
180. Check right 54. Right 54.
This one quickly into the hands of Landry. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
Good. 180. Check. Watch pistol. I'm coming.
They go play action. Mayfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. He was looking for Landry that time. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Now the first carry for an Ohio native. It's Ezekiel Elliott. Power running by Zeke. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Prescott now from the 50. That one complete to Elliott. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk. and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
Kill. Mike 51. You ain't going nowhere.
Prescott from the gun on third. And that's Elliott, complete. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
And the Cowboy first down.
And we got Mike, number 53. Mike 53. All day, just like that. Just like that.
From the red zone now, Prescott will try and set up the screen. It's complete. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. And again, it's Prescott. Dancing to his left. And now he's going to use his legs and avoids the contact by sliding. Good yardage there on the scramble, and all of a sudden they're left with a 3rd and 2, much more manageable. Prescott flush to his right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
3 down.
Here's Mayfield. And unsuccessful there, trying to dump it underneath. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Intended for Nick Chubb. Incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Final play of the half, Mayfield. That's taken in by Callaway. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They go to Elliott again. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves him still needing 11 here on third down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Throwing, Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's fourth. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Let's get off the field.
On third down, Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. A gain of 32 that time. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. It's picked up by the Cowboys. The 30, past the 20, and he will score. Touchdown.